Hello everyone. We were discussing about the features of Indian economy in our previous video, and we already have discussed about 3 point, that is the standard of living and scarcity of the capital and widespread unemployment and poverty. And this is fourth point, that is inequality. So in this in developing country and here in our country in India, we have a high inequality. High inequality, it means that the richest person and the population percentage under the below poverty line, we can see uh, parallel in such a state. And as here will be the high inequality, we have the one hypothesis, the Kuznets hypothesis, which is given by Simon Kuznets, the economist, who tells us about the graph, a parabolic graph, a U-shaped graph, where the um, the horizontal, it's here the real per capita income, and in a vertical stage we see the inequality. So this curve says that in a certain stage inequality will increase, and after some time, in its a peak, after that it will start to decrease. And in some point, Kuznets hypothesis says that the tax revenue will increase. Thus, we get the developmental expenditure also will increase. And here we also study about the trickle down theory. Trickle down theory. This is the long time phenomena, which says that uh, the profit of economic development will automatically reach up to the society and the every group of the society. uh, in this U-shaped curve, here we get horizontally the value source. The term we read here is that real per capita income. So what is real per capita income? um, when we see the production due to the inflation, but the actual production is not there, only due to the inflation we get the increase in production, that is the real per capita income. We can understand this by, we have a something in 100 unit, and the production cost of this 100 units unit is 10. So here the GDP is 1000, and in second stage we have this 100 unit in the quantity, but the cost is 11. Now we see increase in cost, so now the GDP will show 1100. So here the production will not increase. uh, Production hasn't increased, but the cost of the production has increased, so we get the increased GDP. So this is called the real per capita income, where we get the production, the high production due to the inflation, not because of the actual growth in the production. And we see the in regional inequality here in such kind of a state. And this is also a characteristic of Indian economy also, where we see the differences between the northeast and south and north. And state wise, if you see the state, so Goa and Bihar, we can see the inequality and the level of inequality here in the both state. And the per capita income of the Goa and the per capita income of the Kerala will definitely be different. Now there's a sixth point, the dominance of the agriculture sector. Here we get in developing country the dominance of the agriculture sector. So how we calculate the dominancy of any sector in any country or in economy? So we calculate this by the contribution in GDP and in the contribution in employment. So definitely the percentage of in the agriculture sector has decreased, and this has been possible due to the percentage has shifted towards the industry and the service sector. But yet the population are here in agriculture sector, not only the farmers but the workers and other people are involved in agriculture sector. So in developing economy we see the agriculture sector is very much important. And maximum the population are involved here in production, and we see the rapid population growth rate here in such kind of the state. And here we get the theory of the demographic transition. So sorry, um, there is two scientists, the Notestian and Thomson, who gave this theory, the theory of demographic transition. So we have a three stage in this theory. We study here the birth rate, death rate, and population growth. So in the first stage, birth rate is high, and then the death rate is high. So the population growth is low. This is the first stage. And then in second stage the birth rate is high but the death rate is low, so population growth is high. This is the second stage. This called the second stage we call population explosion stage. The second stage we call the population explosion stage. And the third one where the birth rate is low and death rate is also low, so population growth is low. The eighth characteristic of Indian economy is dualistic economy. What does it mean? It means that here the traditional sector and the modern sector, both the sector will present here. The small industries and the machineries and the factories. So sorry. So both the concept, both the thing we can see in developing country. And the last one is well-being low. So how we examine the well-being in education and by the health we see the well-being. So here the education and the health will be measured by human development index and world health report, world happiness report. This is the two uh, two measurement we have. So in developing country we see the human development index is low, and even in also the world happiness report we see the such kind of country are low in happiness reports. So this was the characteristics of the developing countries, and India is also developing countries, so this characteristics apply in our country also. I do not know how they calculate the happiness in the country, but the report says so, that is why we mentioned here. Uh, this was the total point we discussed. It was almost 9 or 10 points we discussed about the features of Indian economy or the developing economy. And we have next topic we'll have from the economic subject or the philosophy. Let's see. Thank you so much. Bye bye.